what's that fat fuck's name? What's his
Pickles.
name? Pickles. Right.
Ed
Pickles. He said the other day, he goes, a traditional English countryside, right? Countryside, is full of cunts. Yeah. The traditional English countryside should not be disturbed. Yeah. Now you live in a city, and you know for every time you look round, they put another wind turbine up. They do all sorts. You know, they rip it apart. They are squashing us in their little cities, yeah, and they're starving us. They're spending money on war, right, to make more money that we never see. We don't see none of this war money. We don't benefit from nothing. You know what I mean? And it's just bang out of order. We're under a fascist regime, for fuck's sake. Like, you know.
Well, we just saw the recruitment officers, didn't we?
Yeah, there's recruitment officers up here, and they're not. All I've seen on telly is them interviewing posh English people, yeah, multi-race people who are English. They're speaking pure English. I mean, if we get enlistment, what does that mean? Does that mean that the government agrees that there are indigenous people in this country? Because they don't at the minute. It seems they only want to enlist. They want to enlist pure English people. Well, not pure English people, but English people who are born here. Yeah? So that'll kill loads of us off. Yeah? So if there is actually an indigenous people in this country, they're going to be dead. You know what I mean? I mean, fair enough. The enlistment states that it's not just about it's not just about sending people to war. It's about getting people to conform to society and conform to society in the sense that they're not allowed to protest. Yeah, they're not allowed to protest or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And that's wrong. We have the right to protest. We're told this is a free speech. There's no such thing as free speech in this country anymore. Yeah? So if we're not a free country, then obviously it's going to swing to the right. The tension that's being caused there, like, we're seeing people with loads of money buying new Mercs, new Mercedes, Beamers and everything, and that's the people next door, and the people next door on the other side, they go to food banks. I mean, this is Exeter. This is one of the nowhere, as far as I know, nowhere uses food banks more than Exeter. And that's another thing. With the divide in Exeter is obscene. The rich people do not want the working class in the high street. I don't know how many times I've come out of work from this place. I've come out of here covered in cement with my helmet under my arm, like, you know, and my ivies. I'm walking down the high street. I'm earning more than the security guards in the high street, and they're looking at me like I'm going to steal something. Fuck off. You know what I mean? I guarantee I was earning double what they're earning, yeah? Because that's what I do. I'm a builder. That's why I look like this. You know what I mean? And this food banks are degrading. I mean, just the last 2 days, I've seen people on Facebook saying that they've been refused admission to. I don't know how food banks works. I'm not sure. I think you have to go to the dole office and they sign you a thing, and then you get sent to the food bank. Right? The place that issues the permit, whatever it is, to go to the food bank, they're closed. You know what I mean? So basically, there's people starving out there who cannot get admission to a food bank. So, and we've got all these MPs trying to ban food banks. How can you ban charities? Well, how has the government got control over charities? How does that work? You know, Greenpeace is supposed to be a charity. No one says anything about them. The government totally ignores them now they're in prison. I mean, I ain't got much respect for Greenpeace. I didn't have until Balcombe occurred. No, about 2-3 weeks before Balcombe, when they climbed the shark. Yeah, a load of rich people climbed the shark. And respect for them doing that, but they are quite elitist. I know people who have actually worked for Greenpeace, and they tell me they are corrupt. Yeah, and that is someone who is quite famous. Yeah, he said they are corrupt because he said, I went there with all this in my heart. I really thought I was going to achieve something, and he got there and he found out they're corrupt. And I've thought that for a long time, because I've been to Glastonbury about 11-12 times. I've never ever seen Greenpeace there, and that's charities for you. Charities, a lot of charities are a rip-off. I must admit. And it's the charities who were there before the internet that are raking the money in, and we're not seeing the production of that money. We're not seeing what the outcome of it. We're not having that. We're having that from the government. It's enough that they give it to us, you know. I mean, for decades and decades, we've sent money abroad, charities, and the government's sending, like, when we hear they're sending money abroad, it's not like £10 million. We're talking £56 million. Pakistan gets £500 million twice a year. Yeah. Now, why? I'll tell you why. Because Pakistan, right? Pakistan is in between. That is the back door into China. We keep Pakistan happy. They stay on our side and keep China at bay. I mean, they're dreaming for a start. It's China, and China are backed by Russia, the two strongest forces in this world. America's not strong anymore. America's got a third world rate economy, and they ain't worth tuppence. Like, they're over there winding everyone up, causing mass hysteria. The communists are out here getting fuck off. The communists were never at it. Yeah, that was all hype. The Cold War was total bullshit. But look at the whole world. The poor are getting poorer, and that's sick. I mean, I don't know anyone who has to go to a food bank. I mean, I'd end up giving them my money, I think, if I did know someone who was going to a food bank. It's just bang out order. Let's just hope, right, that, I mean, let's just hope that a lot of people, we get the message through to a lot of people. Fuck Russell Brand saying not to vote. Fuck Mark McGowan telling us not to vote. Yeah? And fuck everyone who tells us not to vote. You will not know whether it works until we fucking vote. Yeah, I've voted all my life. I really do feel like I'm pissing into the wind, but I still vote. I still think every vote counts. Now, if you don't vote, just remember this: the BNP will vote. Yeah, they are dedicated. They're screaming about voting now. So, you know, what was it I said the other day? I said, look, hypothetically speaking, right, I've got a hat here. I need £100 for charity. Don't bother putting him in any money in, and it'll just appear. Yeah, which is, you know, I'm basically saying if you don't vote, it's not magically going to appear. We're not magically going to get the Green Party. Yeah, the chances are Labour will get in. And I'm not too impressed with Labour. The weapons of mass destruction. They let energy prices go up 160%. Yeah, and they got the front. They got the front after the weapons of mass destruction. They turn around and say, "Oh, don't attack Syria." Nah, if you know what hypocrite means, hypocritical. That is hypocritical. That is after votes. That's all it's for votes. They're all bullshitting. They've been bullshitting since January before the next elections. That's all they're talking about now. Yeah? And people talk about propaganda, they talk about conspiracy theorists, right? The biggest propaganda ever, you will see it in the Sun, you'll see it on the BBC, they will interview White Van Man and they'll say, and White Van Man is standing there with his fucking fag and his, you know, and they'll say, I don't vote, what's the point? Yeah? That's propaganda, you've been mugged off. You've been mugged off big time. You just can't do that. You can't tell people we're a democratic system and then convince them not to vote. The only reason they're not voting is because they believe. And I know everyone out there, you all believe the media, you believe what they're saying. You believe the Daily Mail when they tell you not to vote. You believe the Daily Mail when they tell you to hate Amy Winehouse. Who else did they hate? Amy Winehouse, everyone hated her. I hated her before I even started. I didn't even know who she was. But you know, that's the Sun, they hate everyone. They don't do it to the right people though. They should have hated Elton John. I mean, I could probably get arrested for saying this, but if you're as old as me, you'd know about Elton John and his Rent Boys. Now, it's illegal to say that, yeah? So I'll leave it at that, but, you know, he ended up playing at Diana's wedding, right? You know, talk about a rich divide. Diana, same family as Winston Churchill. Her brother has got more titles than Waterstone's bookshop, right? He's the rich. They are the richest family in this country, the Spencers. Yeah, I mean, look, Churchill. He weren't too clever. He'd give Israel to the Jews. You know what I mean? That's, you know, and this country encouraged that because they wanted alliance in the Middle East so that they could steal the oil from OPEC. Another case of stealing from the pot. You know, that's all they're doing, robbing us. Mark McGowan's right there, but I don't think anyone's right if they tell you not to vote. That doesn't make sense for a democratic country. We got a lot. You know, the Middle East, a lot of countries. Well, it's like Russia. That is a prime example. When they stopped being a Soviet republic, and they issued everyone a fair share of the country. Everyone got a fair share, probably got a tenner each or something. And then the rich people went around conning everyone and took all their money. They said, look, well, that's worth £500 to you, your share. I'll give you 250 now. And they took it, because 250 was a lot of money. You know, they took it. That's why the owner of the Evening Standard is Russian, because that's how he made his money. And they're trying to kill him as well. They're trying to put him in prison. I think his dad is in prison. And it's all a fight against the poor. They're taking the rich from us. But that's the worst thing. Without us, they can't make that money. That's why they've outweighed the work supply in this country, so they can keep the wages down and take more money off us. You know, bankers' bonuses. We bailed out the banks, and now they're getting bonuses. They took it to the European court to get more money. It's all about money. The Zionists bankers want to own the fucking planet, and it's never right. If I covered everything, I covered food banks, don't I? Yeah.